Okay, well, we are back live again. I don't know what happened for those who are watching us. There's a glitch. So in my
Mhm.
life, like yours, the show must go on. So
The
we,
show must go on, Glenda.
yeah, part of life of, and I've learned through life what has shown me through all the years. And my birthday's coming up, and as my birthday comes up, I sit back and reflect on my life,
Hmm.
right? Because of my kids, my how everything has gone. It's such a reflection of, and now at this point in time in life, I have really learned to just flow. Like I just let things go. It's just so not used worth to sit back and sit in that struggle, that feeling, right?
You're absolutely right. Because it's defeating the purpose. It makes you feel down. You're not productive. I say give yourself that 5 minute pity party. Okay, maybe 10
Oh,
minutes.
it's good.
Okay, maybe the evening. But you can't just wallow in it because it'll
No,
drag you deeper and it's all that much more harder to get out. And so
to-
there are times when we do feel that despair, but back to what I was saying before, you build yourself up with the good books that you read, your friends, your circle of friends. I am a Christian woman. I'm into the Bible. You might be a Methodist, Baptist, Muslim, Buddhist,
it
whatever
doesn't
works for
matter.
you.
Yeah.
Get into that so you can help build yourself up, and that keeps you during those times.
And like the thing is as I say to someone, I'm a step by step person. I when I explain or tell people to do, it's not that you got to jump to the end of the saga. You got to just walk to the first step, the first stone to touch base on, and then you can move on as time goes on. We don't.
Absolutely.
Life isn't about pushing it forward. So okay, so you got into it. You came in through in and doing, and like I believe if you need to work at something and not get paid for it, that's okay.
Exactly. And that shows that you really, really want to do it. I mean, now, once you've been in it for a minute and you get your foot in, you want to be able to charge your worth. But hey, even now, if someone offered me something, I don't know, let me go and intern for Oprah. Okay, I'll be there. Oh, I'm there. You don't have to pay me anything. I'll be right. What do you want in your coffee, Oprah? Because you know what? I can soak up a wealth of knowledge from Oprah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a
Oh
seasoned
yeah.
professional, but if Oprah wants to mentor me and she wants me to come and do whatever, I don't mind doing those things. That's me. But it takes a certain mindset to be able to humble yourself so you can learn the craft or learn whatever it is you're supposed to learn for that season so it can propel you forward and whatever else your purpose and your destiny are.
So the other important fact is, never mind, can you also learn a whole lot from somebody like that? But it's also like I tell people through my journey, and I'm sure through yours, it's not just all what you've learned, it's also the people that you get connected to.
Absolutely. You never know who you're going to run into, and you never know who's going to see you doing what you're doing. And remember, you're supposed to be in that doing mode while you're trying to build up whatever else is happening. So you are doing your thing, you're living your purpose, you're speaking, you're hosting your Facebook Lives. You don't know who's watching this. You don't know who's been saying, "Oh, I like that Glenda chick. She's amazing. She's helping people. She's coaching. Oh, I heard about her." So you're preparing, you're laying the foundation for your legacy of whatever it is you're supposed to be doing.
So you sort of said you started your life off with always being this was your forte in life from the very beginning.
Yes, since I was about 8.
So not so many people are lucky to have that, because there's a lot of women and men too. But for me right now, my mission is to really empower other women. Why? Because of all the knockdowns and struggles that I've been through, and doing a lot of it by myself. I don't really, it's so hard when you're by yourself trying to struggle through and make it through. So when I see somebody going through what I went through, it's like I can't help if somebody is drowning in the pool. I got to send them a life preserver. I need to
Right.
help them, right?
Absolutely.
And you're on the same journey as I am by your program that you have, Ignite the Hustle. Tell me about the Ignite the Hustle.
Well, your Ignite Your Hustle movement that I started was just about what you're saying, helping people, especially women, get to that next level in their lives. So you have a little bit of success, you've done whatever, but maybe that's not your passion anymore. Maybe you want
Yeah.
to extend that brand. Maybe you want to brush up on some new skills. There's so many things that we have that we can modify and make money from nowadays that we don't really tap into because we just haven't been taught to think that way. People of a certain age, I think a lot of women of a certain age, we were just taught you get this job, you do what you do, and you stay there, and that's it. But now, because we have gotten the words, the verbiage, the knowledge, we can extend different things. We can say, hey, this really wasn't my passion. To your point, Glenda, hey, this wasn't my passion. This is really what I found that I'm really good at and I like. And I found this out at age 35 or at age 40 or at age 50 or at age 70. My mom is what, 60 something, and she is now teaching college. She's on her second book. She didn't do it. She
Wow.
taught high school all of her life, but she's like, I never thought that I would be writing books like this and doing what she's doing now. You know what I mean? My father just got his certification as a minister at 70. Finished school, went back to Bible college at 70 during the pandemic. It's crazy.
Wow, that's
So
lovely.
it's never too late for
Can
you
you
to
hold
do.
on? Can you repeat that again to people?
Yes, yes, yes. Never too late. Never too late. Get on out there and make things happen. Oh, well, I have these kids and I have these grandkids, and it's okay because now we have so many things at our fingertips. And it may seem like, the technology is a little overwhelming, and it can be overwhelming for me, you, the kids
Oh
too.
yeah.
But get somebody who knows it and you can learn. And that's what Ignite Your Hustle is about. So I'm doing the different workshops. I was doing them when we were still, moving around with the pandemic, before the pandemic. But now I'm about to launch the academy. I've been tooling around with it and trying to get it together. But I think the season for me to actually launch is really coming soon. So I've been in my mind scoping out something for the next couple of months. So hopefully we'll be able to get it off. But it's just that encouraging women and taking them through the paces, and not just women, because men too, but taking them through the paces of, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. Here's what we do for this. This is how you execute. This is what you promote. This is how you market. I had someone hit me on my DMs, slid in the DMs, and it
Yeah.
just kind of encouraged me because they were asking me. She's like, "Oh, will you always do this, this, and that, and talk about side hustles? Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Wait, this is it. This is a sign. I need to go ahead and launch the class. I need to launch the class." So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. But that's what the Ignite Your Hustle movement is about: just getting people moving and doing something.
So that's what, and we're both on the same side, the same sink, because I had to restart my life again in my 50s. I was in a business and my relationship went down, everything, my world fell apart. And, I allowed myself 2 days of pity party. Thank you very much. And then it was up and going and doing and recreated myself. And that's why I say to women, you know what? I restarted life again in 50s and it doesn't matter. There's so many women that are in their 60s, 70s that are starting new businesses and they grow and they have incredible celebrations of what they're able to accomplish.
Absolutely. And now more than ever, the time is, the field is open, wide open. We have accessibility, whereas we did not have it before. It may have been a lot more doors to knock down. Right now, you can hit somebody up on social media and say, hey, I love what you're doing. Can I interview you? Hey, I'd love to find out about such and such. Can you tell me about whatever? You know what I mean? You can go right there and be right there and talk to whomever you want to. I just started following the CEO, and she has to approve if you follow her. And she approved. I'm like, hey, this is cool. Hi.
Are you a Clubhouse member?
I am on Clubhouse, but I have not maximized it to its fullest potential yet. But I was just saying on my show that people who are really into it, you might want to look into it. They are now sponsoring 50 different creators for shows. They're paying them $5,000 a month for the 3 months. They're going to help them launch, give them productive quality stuff. They're giving them the equipment, and get this, they said they want the creators to be in complete ownership of their creativity and their project. They want to spearhead it.
Wow.
So if
Okay.
you are, go ahead, Glenda.
Okay, there's my calling.
There it is.
I believe in it, and actually, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because I have been able to contact through Clubhouse. My mentor actually got me connected into Clubhouse, and I follow it. I listen to it, and you have to be very careful because it's quite addictive. But I've been following it, every day I listen to a little portion of it. And there's so much words of wisdom on there. There's so many people in incredible positions, and everybody is really open to helping others.
Yes. And I think with the pandemic, it shifted something in people.
Didn't
We
it?
want to
Yeah.
find commonalities. We want to see each other succeed. There's still wonky craziness out there, yes, but I think we're seeing good come out. You know what I mean? Not just in business wise, but us learning to
No.
empathize and get to know one another. Oh, well, here's a helping hand. Like you were saying, I'm seeing that a lot more.
Yeah, there's a commonality, with the pandemic, it hit all of us. It didn't matter if you're big, if you're small, if you have a large business or no business, it hit us all. We've all lost people, we've all been hit by it on the same hand. And so it really brought us down to the same level. So it really showed a lot. Like I believe I look to everything. There's got to be something that you're grateful for. Every day that my feet hit the floor and I'm awake, I'm grateful for that. But so let's talk about, some of your daily, like gratitude for me is a daily routine. What are some of your daily routines that you do?
As far as gratitude is concerned?
Well, as far as you build yourself, as like part of my routines, like I notice because I follow you, you're an exerciser, so you believe in your own self-love and self-care. So what do you do on a more of a daily basis to keep yourself mentally and physically strong?
Mornings, I have my quiet time. I have to have the quiet time because if I don't, I feel weird. I have to kind of zone into my spiritual side in the morning. So I have my worship music, I have my Bible, I have just a couple of, different little inspirational things. And that's normally when you'll see me posting after I've done all that, or in that time I post and find something. Oh, let me find something encouraging to post or whatever, or even to record or say. But I feel like I have to do that to get my mind right. That clears me up to start me off right for the day. Exercise, I would normally pre-pandemic be exercising. I would work out with my trainer a couple of times, 3 to 4 times a week. He hit me up today. He's like, "Where are you? You need to get back in here." I'm like, I know. It's been more challenging. That's been one of the biggest things for me during the pandemic because I love to cook. I love to eat. We were in this pandemic. It just like, okay, so what am I doing? I'm home. Okay, fine. So that part I'm getting back to. But the other day I was in my backyard jumping rope and having fun. And my husband peeked out the window and he's like, opened the door. He's like, "What are you doing?" Because I was just dancing. I had my earbuds in. I'm like, he scared the crap out of me. But those kinds of things get me going. And it's just fun. And it's just me. No one was there. I'm just in the backyard doing what I do. That kind of stuff helps me and makes me feel alive. You know what I'm saying? It brings
Yes.
forth the energy and it gets the juices flowing for me. I also, on the weekends, I like to drive around and I drive around and look at houses and visualize where I'm going to be moving the next few.
Okay.
But I love to do that. And I think to me, it helps you see where you want to be. So I go and I'm like, "Oh, that house is nice. I like that. Let me go see what it looks like on the inside." If it's, on Zillow or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
go and check it out. Okay, I could do that. I could probably change the bathroom to this. I'd probably do my basement. I'd have my studio down here. And I create that because in your mind is where the busyness starts, right?
Oh, I
And you
love
got to go ahead and
this.
start visualizing
Yeah.
so that you can see it, so that you can call those things that be not as though they were, and then work on those things and bring them to you.
So, wow. Yeah. We are so on sync because I'm a visualized person. I visualize. I have made for years. I've been making vision boards.
Yes,
Um,
before it was trendy.
yeah, way before it was trendy. I
Mm,
did a lot of things way before it was trendy, right? But
yes.
it's crazy, but it happens. So many things have happened through my life. Like I had it where I'm living now. I had that on my vision board 10, 15 years ago. And then I moved in just pre-pandemic. And it's like, oh my God, this,
Wow.
yeah, it all transpired. I never realized, I didn't even know how I was going to get there when I did it. So it's just, it's all about what you visualize to be in, what actually comes into being. right?
Yes.
So if we don't put those thoughts into our head to start thinking, because I know a lot of people go thinking that it's only a bunch of, sky, fairy tale dreams and all the rest of it. But
No, it's real.
yeah. So I'm glad to see that you and I are on the same page, that you've got to start coming into somewhere. So do you do a lot of planning, or is it, how do you work your
My
thing here, your
Well, my
dreams and that?
planning stuff is there. Do I follow all the plans? I veer off a little bit. And here lately, I've just been all over the place. But I do know, like even you were saying, "Hey, send me a picture, send me a bio," and I'm like, "Okay, I gotta send it," and then I'll forget. But now I've been putting things in my phone. I am still a writer. I love to
Yeah.
write things down, but I think I have to do write it down and also in the phone to pop up as a reminder on my
Yeah.
calendar or whatever because I'll forget to do certain tasks or certain things. But yes, I'm all about planning ahead. So for the summer, I'm already planning out what I'm going to be doing with my Ignite Your Hustle marketing stuff. So we're in May and I'm printing out calendars. I was just saying this on the air too as a hustler's tip. June, July, August, and plan out what I want to do, plan out what the social media will look like, plan out even different things that I might be able to partner with someone over the summer just to build up what I'm doing. And that could be something that you do as well.
Absolutely. Are you a journaler?
Oh, I used to journal all the time. I still have a gazillion journals from my youth and probably up until about ten years ago. I don't do it as much anymore. I'll take some time just to write something, but I don't journal as much anymore. My mom still writes. She's like, "Oh, I have to put this in my journal." She writes on a daily still.
Yeah, I believe. Well, I'm still a pen and paper person. I
Yes,
do
as
put
am I.
stuff in my thing, but I believe that I take it out of the head and it goes on to there, and and that's how things flourish a little bit more for me. So
Yes,
hopefully, maybe when this, as I said to you just before we came on live here, that in Toronto we're still in lockdown, and I'm hoping that once they start moving a little bit faster with the vaccinations, and then it is what it is. We have to look to. There's always there is a light at the end of our tunnel,
yes,
and we have to be grateful that whoever we've lost has unfortunately, it's a sad point in all of our hearts that anybody that has gone to that. But going forward, that there will be a lot more opportunities and our worlds will open up, and maybe you'll come to Toronto.
yes.
And like we started this before a
Exactly. I
long
was
time.
just telling my husband, I said we were planning before the pandemic. I said, "Hey, I got to come out there to Toronto." And then everything got shut down.
So we'll still do it. We'll still, once things open up and we start having events again, then we'll do a hustle in Toronto and bring out some live, and the whole thing is if teaching people that even if people have never been into a business, even if they have never done things like that, we all have skills that we can tap into.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now you can put those skills up. I talk about it all the time about how there's so many courses now. You can go on Udemy, you can go on Coursera and Teachable and think of there's so many platforms where you can teach your skill and get paid for it. And vice versa. You can go over there and learn. And some of those classes are actually free. I know on Coursera they have a lot of free ones that you can take, and even if you want, if you're a little intimidated, you can take the refresher courses and no one has to know anything about it. Hey, I don't remember how to do so and so. That's okay. You can get up there and do it. And no one still has to see your face. So just be encouraged by that.
Yeah, we're so worried about being judged by others. It's
Yes,
it's a crime, right? But we have to learn that we have to just have that power within ourselves to know that if it's building us up, that's all it really needs to be, right? We don't need to.
absolutely.
So if you were to be, somebody's watching you and they're sort of feeling not within themselves and they're struggling in their course of moving forward, and maybe something's happened in their life that's moved them down, what kind of words of encouragement would you give?
Pretty much what I was saying earlier about the focusing on your meditation and reading some other things that will encourage you. We have to be careful and mindful about what we put into our spirits, what we allow in, right? Even that well-meaning friend who can sometimes be a little snarky might be the thing that you need to turn off. I think you have to zone. I think you need to get somewhere quiet for a minute and talk about your options of whatever your problem is. Write it down, put the pros and cons. This is this, and this is what's happening, and this is the lesson. And also, one of the things that had helped me years ago, I was fired from a radio station, and it was right around the time of the housing crash in 2007, or the financial thing, 2008, whatever, 9. Um, it was a few years after that. At any rate, when I got down to it, I was like, you know what? Even if I lose my house, I'm going to be okay. So I worked it all the way. What's the worst that could happen? And you
Right.
ask
Worst
yourself,
case.
what's the worst? What's the worst? What's the worst? What's the worst? And guess what? At the end, you're still standing. You might be standing with a little less stuff, but you're still there. And you're still like, hey, I can do this. If push comes to shove, we can do XYZ. If I have to sell this house, I have to sell the house. If I have to do that, I can do that. And then when you say it, it kind of works through and it kind of, okay, it levels itself for you. So you can say, this is not impossible. It might sting a little bit. It might be a little scratchy, but I can get through this. So if there is someone watching who may be going through something like that, that bottom part where you're like, I don't know what to do. You know what to do. We know it in our guts.
In
So
our
take
yes,
it
in our
and write
hearts.
it down and process it and do the worst that could happen. And then don't forget to fill yourself back up with some good stuff.
Beautiful. That's the key to it all, right? We have to look at all case scenarios in our life. There's good and there's bad in everything. No matter what, we're all going to survive. And it's really the funniest thing is I, you know what, I call them angels. It could be the divine, it can be God. It doesn't matter what you call it, but we all know that there's somebody out there overwatching us. So, you know, at the end of the day, we will make it through no matter what.
Right.
And we just have to, you know, the whole important thing of keeping the faith and believing in ourselves that we are able to conquer anything no matter what we go through in our lives.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most greatest important message that we can give, especially during the time that we're all living in. And some of us, you know, some countries are now opening up, and some countries like us are still closed down. But we're all going to make it through no matter what we are, and we have it really everything inside of us to pull through. And the other important thing is to always ask. You know, like I always tell people, just ask people. The worst that they can say is no. What's the worst case scenario?
That's it. That's it.
Right?
The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, then you go and ask someone else.
Someone else, right? You keep knocking on those doors. So that's today's. I want to thank you so very much for giving me your time and for giving me your wisdom. It, as I said, I can hardly wait till everything opens up, and then we can actually, what we were planning of coming together in Toronto and you bringing your energy here to our beautiful city. And it will be a beautiful thing that we can put out there to help more and more women and men. It's not just for women. Life is about helping one another and building each other up. Absolutely. As far as I'm concerned. So
thank you for having me, Glenda.
It's an absolute pleasure, and it was an absolute blessing. Thank you so much, Deja, and I wish you nothing but wonderful success. And send me once you open up your hustle. I'd love to see it, and maybe we can get some more people on board on this side as well.
Yay!
Absolutely.
You.
Yes, my pleasure. Absolutely. Right. So I look forward to seeing you and watching you online, and we'll connect as time goes on and building up, you know, women, men, you all got to build your own hustle. We're here to help, though. That's the important line. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Be well. Bye-bye.